Good morning. Welcome back to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. All right, we've been talking about fixed index annuities at this last thing, annuities in general, but fixed index annuities. So on that, we were going over what are the benefits, some of the different bells and whistles that might go with it. Talk to you about long-term care protection being one of those, enhanced death benefits. There's a lot of legacy planning that can be done with annuities. You can use them in trust. I'll get into more advanced concept in future shows. But what should you consider before purchasing? Gains can be limited, okay, because, you know, this is the same when you're investing on, I mentioned on fixed index annuities, you have some that have caps, and these caps can be very limiting. They can say the most you can get in a given year, no matter what the index does, is 4 to 5%. Well, let's say even at 5%, if 5% is my best case and 0 is my worst case, I'm going to be averaging around 2 to 3%. I could just go get a guaranteed fixed annuity for that. So I don't want a fixed index annuity that has caps, all right, in the index. And the next thing I'm looking at is what the fees are. Okay, some of them have higher fees, and depending on how many things you might add into it, there could be a reason for doing it that would be, you know, in your best interest. But you got to watch for those fees, reducing your potential return. So now we have caps, we have fees, and then there's another called participation rate. And participation rate is another important factor. If you might see one that has a 50% participation rate on the S&P as an example, and that participation rate, if it's only 50%, or 50%, excuse me, if the market goes up 10, you're going to get 5. If you have 80% and the market goes up 10, you're going to get 8. If the market goes up 80%, or excuse me, if it goes up 100% and you've got 100% participation, right, you're going to get 10 as well. Now, here's the kicker. There are actually some indexes out there that have like 120, 140%. So if that index goes up, say, 10%, you're going to get 12 or maybe even 14. So there's a lot of different pieces to understand. Getting with someone to really help you with that is key, to make sure that we're matching up the right one for your needs. So again, if you need some help with that, call my office. That number is 615-376-5325. Maybe you'd like to get the whole comprehensive financial plan. No cost. I'm willing to invest my time into helping you develop this plan. Typically, it takes 2 or 3 visits. We can't, you know, because we've got to gather the information, we've got to generate the reports, and then, of course, present them to you and go through developing these different strategies, what-if scenarios, different strategies to find the right foundational plan, base plan, starting point for you. And that means, so for instance, you may have questions like, should I take Social Security at 62? Or maybe your full retirement age is probably between 66 and 67, or is going to fall into that category. Whatever it is, we can compare. Now imagine that you can look at that, right? You can say, well, you know, if I take it at age 62, let's look at what that looks like for you 10, 15, 20 years down the road. How much money are you going to have overall? And then let's take a look at age 67, let's say. If you waited till then, and you start taking that, what's that going to look like 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road? You get to compare the outcomes of the decision before you make the decision. It makes it pretty easy then. You just say, okay, well, that's the one I'm going to go with. The one that gives me the most money at the end of the period. There are other considerations. We talk about those, your health, longevity, all of that plays into it. But again, that's just one of the things in a comprehensive financial plan that we're looking at. We look at all these different choices you're going to have to make. Medicare, do I go, you know, traditional or original Medicare, or do I go with a Medicare Advantage plan? Which one's going to be better? And we can help you with those kind of choices as well. Long-term care, do I need a long-term care policy? Maybe I need an annuity that's got a long-term care benefit that'll help me cover those costs. And for many, I find that they can self-insure when they factor in all the different resources available to them. Social Security, maybe a pension, maybe income from other sources, and you add to that the income from your investments, and maybe you've got enough money to cover long-term care. We can certainly help you determine that. All of that is part of a good comprehensive financial plan. And the way it works when you call my office is we're going to send you out a packet of things to bring to your appointment with me. I shared them with you. That's the gathering of the information part. And then through that, we're going to start generating the reports. We're going to have a conversation, of course, about what your goals, your needs are, things that you'd like to be able to do, kind kind of determine, again, the fund money piece as well. If you had an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, what would you do as far as your lifestyle, and helping you determine, what that would look like for you. All of that is part of the planning, and then once we've done with reports, then we start putting it together to the individual pieces for your personalized plan, and help you develop then that base plan. All of that, again, at no cost or obligation. It's a great way for us to show you how we can help you in the strategies we employ, and maybe you'll become a client. I've been doing this for 32 years now, so one of the things I can share with you is that I enjoy my clients. I really enjoy meeting. Many have become friends, and some it's like extended family even. And one of the things I find is I'm looking forward, when I look at my calendar each week, who's coming in, I'm wanting to look forward to meeting them and catching up and seeing how they've been doing and how the family is and all those kind of things. So this is a kind of a mutual benefit. When I meet and help you with these, getting a base plan, I'm able to assess too if we're a good fit, and I want to have you on my schedule in the future. So again, if you'd like to take advantage of that, if you'd like to get at the worst case, you're going to have a nice base plan to work off of, second opinion maybe on some of the things you're currently doing, reports from Morningstar and others that we provide. We can arrange meetings with Dr. Friday if you've got some tax things that you'd like to help with, where we need to run some tax scenarios for you. Estate planning, I've got estate planning attorneys like Jack and of course Russ Cook. So all of that we can help with as a part of this planning. So once you call in, you'll get the packet, send it back in or bring it in with you when you come in. And when you come in to see me, I'll also give you a free copy of my book, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom in Retirement. Okay. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Variable annuities is the next one in the piece from Nationwide. Again, with me, I typically avoid variable annuities. I find that one of the things with variables, and this is what I recommend to clients as well, look at them. I've had clients come in and have them, and we look at what are the fees, what are the costs, and whether or not, it's going to fit their needs based on the things that it has. Spousal protection, death benefit. This is one of those areas that you can pass money on, not just to your spouse. So one of the things when it comes to, say, IRAs, when someone passes, that's married, that a couple, the surviving spouse can convert that into they can convert that into their own annuity or their own IRA. So they can continue it over 2 lifetimes. Or they can cash it out and maybe invest in some other man's. So when you go to annuities, understanding your investment, know the value of the options. Investors pay fees for death benefit protection and for the guarantees that they won't outlive their income. Annuities offer death benefit protection and guarantees not provided by other investment firms or other investment options. Sorry. So, by the way, let's go advance up to straight talk about fees. Let me cover that one. So let's see. You've got, where is it at? So on investments, I mentioned about the different things, participation rates, caps, fees are another one you want to watch, and how your advisors, by the way, are paid on these. So they're through an insurance company. Advisors are typically paid a commission. Sometimes they can do it as it's like a trail, similar to what they might get paid on other fees. So that's something also you can talk to the advisor about and find out more about that. Key is what we're looking at, and this is kind of like when we look at a fixed annuity. You're getting a guaranteed contract. You're getting some guarantees within that contract. Is it going to fit your needs? If it's going to meet the needs that you have, whatever fee the advisor is paid is not coming out of your pocket. In other words, you're not having it deducted from your return. Doesn't affect that. Paid by the insurance company to them. And of course, now the structure of the product takes that into account. But when you look at that compared to other fees that you pay as far as investments and stuff, you want to weigh it all and see what works best for you. All right, we covered a lot with regard to annuities today. I hope it's been helpful for you. We're going to get to a few other housekeeping things when we come back from this break. Join us here. We'll be right back on a Retirement Report.